Right, so I'm commuting on the way home, and I thought this is an interesting angle to show you guys for a change. But the video today will be about how my friends, and maybe you, find Archlinux difficult. I think there's two issues at play. One, the rolling updates. If you don't update often enough, it can be a bit painful. And the second issue being stuff around Xorg, like scaling displays and multiple monitor setups. So let's talk about that, shall we?
So, as you know, I live in Singapore, but a couple of weeks back I was visiting family and friends, and my best of friends, Jamie, who I did the Mongol rally with, geekout.org.uk, also runs Arch, but he's super busy now, and it's interesting to hear about his issues of late. So, enjoy.
Because you've not upgraded for a while because it's a rolling release.
Look, I tried to reboot it. Failed to reboot system via login D. Transaction is destructive.
Can you just put that on the camera somehow?
That happens every so often, and I find that if I do an upgrade, then I can reboot. Woohoo! I think.
I don't understand that. Do you know why that is?
I think it's system D. I think it's actually mentioned on the suckless. You know the suckless examples of suck full software. They've got a whole like website. And this is the sort of thing we've come to, like what I wanted to say at the end, at the beginning of this conversation. What I find now is that my theory is, what I think is, like, using Linux. If you use it every day you fix a minor problem. And now I have two kids. I don't use my computer every day. Sometimes I don't use it for 2 weeks. And then I turn it on and I can't use it because all those little minor problems have condensed into like me not being able to use my computer. I can't reboot my computer. It's just like,
I understand that, but why don't you develop on Arch? I think of Arch as a developer's machine, and you don't develop on what do you develop on again? A Windows machine.
For hobby wise or professionally?
Professionally.
Professionally, I develop .NET software. I mean, I guess you can do Mono, but it's like I tried to use. You can't develop under Arch, I guess. There's just no way you can do it. Well, not at work. No, I mean it'd be crazy. I mean the IT support wouldn't even know how to administrate
Well,
it.
Can't you just say this is my machine? I'm taking over.
It's not my machine. It's Work's machine. It's got their logo on it and everything.
Would you agree? I mean, you've used Arch. Can I just say that I think Jamie got into Arch because of my campaigning, my influencing?
Yeah, yes, undoubtedly.
What I wanted to say is that you recognise the benefits of Arch as a developer's machine, or you don't see it that way?
The thing is, I've never really developed on Linux, full stop. I don't think Arch, Unix.
So me recommending Arch to you using Arch,
yeah.
What problem has it solved for you?
Well, I was thinking about this earlier. I think what happened was, first I used Debian because you introduced me to Linux, and I used Debian. And then I think at some point I switched from Debian to Ubuntu. I don't know why I did that or when.
That wasn't down to me.
No, that wasn't down to you. So I mean, I'm kind of tempted again because I was so fed up of not being able to use my computer when I switch it on. And it got to a point with Ubuntu where I felt like it was working, but I didn't understand how it was working. It got to a point where they had abstracted everything, and I didn't know. The desktop I didn't understand how it was working. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the desktop environment is so like
network
inbuilt.
Manager.
It's like So started again with Arch, and it was all great again. And now we can rehash the systemd argument, but systemd comes along into Arch, and now I'm at a point again where I don't understand how anything works. I mean, the networking, it's just a mystery to me.
You're not using systemd network D.
Yeah, no, I am actually. That's not really true.
But you surprised me that you didn't seem to know about journal CTL. You're running syslog ng. You're also running cron-d. You don't use systemd timers, I guess.
I have done. But do you know what? This is like, there are some things you just think, this is such a simple thing, and yet you can't do it. I asked this question on stack user over super stack. Super user. Right. All I want to do, I want to start a job and then I want to stop it. Okay. I want to start a job at midnight and then I want to stop the job at midday. Every day. Run it for 12 hours.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Do
you know what the best suggestion was?
How do you do that in
Do you know
Cron?
what the best suggestion was? Cron, that's easy.
How?
You just start it at midnight, stop it at, you put kill thing in it at midday.
Well, you could do the same with, you could go system D.
You go and do
start,
that. You
and
go
then
and do
system D stop, I guess.
You try it. Basically, somebody came up with the idea that to do that, what you do is you create a timer, a system D timer to fire off the cron daemon. That's just like what?
No, you
cut out the middleman. Just use cron.
I'm just trying to remember what timers do. Timers basically tell the service to run. Actually, I forgot how timers work. Okay, this is not going to go well because I can't remember how to fix this problem. But I know what you mean. Like, the problem we hit it at work is that my colleagues are, I guess, used to RCD system, and they wanted to simply run a job on shutdown. So traditionally this was etc rc0.d. They wanted to put it in a script and run it there, and they were trying to move their RC scripts into systemd. They googled around, somehow found that there's this userlib systemd shutdown directory where they can reference a service file in there. The guy did it, but it didn't work, and the reason was because at that phase, unlike RC0, you don't have networking. What he was trying to do is basically copy some logs off when the machine was shutting down, but it was not going to work because there was no network at that point. I even filed a bug on systemd issues about this, how difficult it is for this use case now. Back in the old days with RCD, it was simple, or init.d, I don't know how you describe this, or sysv. It was simple to do a simple shutdown script. Now, with systemd, it is quite obscene, actually. It's quite sad.
It's weird how some things
just
get more complicated. It's like, it's just...
But, I mean...
That's the thing about... It's like, keep it simple.
Everyone speculates that this was going to happen with systemd, because if the systemd maintainers, like Lennart and Kai, somebody, there's a few people...
You can say what you like about that guy, but he does respond to every little user. Like, I've had a personal message from him.
From Lennart?
Yeah.
Yeah, I met Lennart in Singapore. Great guy. It's just that I sometimes wonder if someone like him wasn't working on the project.
Yeah, would it be smoother?
would it go tits up?
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah, he's the only person working on it.
Yeah,
but it's such a massive project now. You can't. Surely that's not true.
Yeah, it's true. But still,
where was my question?
The fact that it's complex is a concern. It's the same concern I have with Linux. I've been using Linux for 20 years, I guess, and I've just found it a little bit too complicated and stuff like that. But mainly the bloat comes in with not third party, but like extraneous drivers and stuff like that. I guess the core is quite lean, I guess, even though that's quite hard to measure at times.
What's the Stack Overflow for Linux? Is there a Linux one?
I think Superuser, what you're on right now, is the one.
Maybe it was Ubuntu.
So what?
I just want to try and find my question, just to remind myself exactly what.
I would like to think that I'm quite principled in what my choices are and all that sort of stuff.
And yet you use Chrome.
And yeah, I use Chrome. Yeah, I use Linux. I use Cyclist DWM. I mean, do you have that's me. But what about you? Do you have a philosophy? You just want to get stuff done in the easiest possible way, or do you care if anything's open source? Not really.
I don't know. I'm not against closed source. But see, I don't get you using Chrome. I just think, you're falling into Google's monopoly.
That's interesting you mentioned that. I mean, you're obviously anti-Google, right?
I'm anti-Google, yes, that's fair to say.
Is Firefox actually getting better? Like, have you been using the nightlies?
Yeah.
It's been getting faster, right?
Yeah. Well, you said that yourself, didn't you? I don't know if you realised that.
Yeah, but I don't use it day to day, and I was curious. So you've been a Firefox user throughout, right?
Yeah.
So would you say that you even know what Chrome has to offer over Firefox? I mean, do you use that from time to time, or for any reason? Like the Chrome Dev Tools is pretty rad. Let's be honest.
To be honest, I'm not that familiar with the Chrome Dev Tools. I mean, I just use either the Firefox Dev Tools or Firebug. I did try to do some remote debugging in Chrome on the mobile device once, but can't remember how that went.
Okay.
What's so great about Chrome Dev Tools?
Well, it's the debugger is very good. You can it even does like breakpoints and stepping or everything you want it to do.
Breakpoints and stepping. I mean, you got.
It tells you things like
breakpoint.
The performance stuff.
Breakpoint.
People can't see your screen. The performance stuff, the auditing, the coverage. For where is it coverage? The one where you can see how much of your JavaScript in the page is actually loaded and utilized, and the network tab I find very good.
Yeah.
But I believe the guy who worked on Firebug actually works on the Chrome Dev Tools, so that's what I heard.
The difference between Firebug and Firefox's own.
I think Firebug got folded into Firefox.
Do you think?
It's not a separate thing. For probably what your stuff, you don't really. Yeah, I don't know. What do you think? What is good about Firefox? It's independent, or?
Yeah, I think that's what it comes down to. Yeah, I want to put as few eggs into Google's basket as I can.
The interesting thing that you just showed me add-ons there. There's all these Firefox legacy stuff there. That's the big problem I have with my own, Web Converger is based on Firefox.
Yeah.
I'm frustrated because basically I've been maintaining that add-on for Firefox for years. And basically now with this new engine, all of that stuff is going to be thrown away. So basically in the new Firefox, there's no way of me locking down Firefox as I've done in the past. So I don't know if I'm going to ever be able to migrate my users to the new version of Firefox.
Yeah, well, I can't really comment on that because I don't know the ins and outs of the new. What they call?
But I could just see you use like 10 add-ons there. Aren't you concerned that the new engine is going to basically?
No, I'm not, because
you don't really care for these ones even.
No, I've already gone through them and checked. I mean, the ones that actually look, these are all disabled. These are the ones, and even these. See that one, secure password generator, is actually a duplicate of password generator legacy. So, and I've already gone through. I mean, this one here, this is one I use a lot. Saved password editor. It's just all it is really is a convenient button to open the.
What about is there going to be ad block on the new Firefox? I wonder.
I think so. I mean, the big ones are definitely going to.
Oh, it is. What about it's legacy, but it's compatible? I don't quite understand that.
Well, it's two different things, isn't it? You can be compatible with multi-process without being. What's it called? The web. What's it called? Web. What are they called? The new things.
The new engine.
Web. Something.
I'm not too sure.
Let's look it up. What's it called? Web. I don't even know where to find it out.
So a lot of people, including myself, has been bitching about the management or the the management of Firefox. I guess that's one way of putting it. So you've been pretty happy with the product and the direction.
I can't really say that I'm even really aware of any of that.
Do you use it at work? No.
Yeah.
Okay. Is it the main browser at work, or is it
No, I'm in the minority. No, most people use Chrome. I think we have got a web product being developed at the moment. I think most of the people do it with Chrome. I think it's got to be Internet Explorer compatible as well, but I don't think it's got to be Firefox compatible.
I like to think the difference in user agents is quite minimal nowadays, but anyway. So, okay, you're a Firefox user. That's awesome. It's kind of rare.
Yeah, not that rare. I mean, what's it? What percentage-wise? Like 25% usage share, isn't it?
Yeah.
Depending on where you look.
I think there's a lot of Germans using it for some reason.
Privacy issues. Germans, they're big on the privacy, aren't they?
But like after,
especially East Germans.
But listen,
you know what I mean. East Germans.
I maintain. I'm pro privacy too. In Web Converger, there's about 20 million things I've had to disable in Firefox from basically leaking privacy sensitive stuff, in my opinion. Like, calling home, usage stuff. I mean, they say it's anonymized or something, but it's very difficult to even verify that at times. So I've just run into issues where, like, I'm just having to disable calling home type functionality. It's just, there's been so much of that stuff.
I'm less concerned about Mozilla knowing stuff about me than I am about Google knowing stuff about me. And I mean, the thing is that Google makes a browser, and Google make money through advertising.
Mm-hmm.
So they're never going to allow their browser to get in the way of them making money. Firefox, on the other hand, I mean, do you know about, you sort of asked me if I know about what Chrome has to offer. Do you know what Firefox has to offer? Like, do you know about their anti-tracking settings?
Do not track.
No, it's not do not track. So the thing is, Mozilla get a lot of money from Google, don't they?
Do not track, that's just a useless header. No one cares about it.
No,
DNT.
That isn't true, Kai. This isn't that. This isn't that. It's actually it's an active setting. And I actually think that so Mozilla get a lot of money from Google, don't they? And my theory is that Google have pressured them into making this setting really difficult to find, because you have to do this. Like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to click 3 times to put it on?
Can you show that to the camera somehow? Just turn your.
You tell me.
Just.
Let's see if this touch screen works. I really don't like this touch screen. Oh, what's happened now? See, this is the touch screen problem. Can you see this? So we got. Why does that look backwards? So we got
look fine.
We have to click on manage your do not track settings, and then you always apply do not track. Okay. So let's see what Wikipedia has to say about it.
Thanks, Taz.
What search engine do you use?
Google, because it works. It works much better than DuckDuckGo.
I think DuckDuckGo is fine.
I think you have a very strange trust in this Firefox do not track thing. I think it's absolutely useless.
It's not, Kai. You don't know what you're talking about.
Okay, prove it to me.
I'm trying to find out. Trying to find it. You might have to just be patient here. The Firefox Developer Edition is blocking parts of the page that may track your browsing.
Like what there?
Yeah, what? That is a good question.
Aren't you just better off using AdBlock and be done with it?
I do use AdBlock as well.
So, what's the point of this native feature? It sounds like a waste of space.
I don't know.
Going back to Firefox, I really do hope there is some sort of Firefox. Remember when Firefox came about after Mozilla? What was it called Mozilla before? The Mozilla browser was just
Navigator, Netscape.
Well, it was called Mozilla, I think, for a while, and it was terrible. It was bloated. It had all that crap in it, and then Firefox came around, and I think what it did is it replaced parts of Zool with GTK.
The Mozilla suite.
Yeah, it basically got rid of a lot of Zool stuff, XUL, don't know how to pronounce that, and replaced it with some GTK stuff. Immediately it got like 10 times faster, and they just threw away all the other stuff like the mail component. There was other components to Mozilla. I can't even remember what they were now.
I used Thunderbird at work.
Calendar probably, or something weird. Like they probably had a whole PIM in there. So Firefox, when it came out, was awesome, wasn't it? And I really hope that Firefox has a new lease of life, because it is a bit sad how WebKit we're having this WebKit monoculture right now. Jamie, as I was saying, that when you reboot into Windows after a long time, you have a whole host of issues, and it's like a total black box. As you mentioned, the problem with Ubuntu, it's way more problematic than Ubuntu. It's a total black box.
But it does work. I mean, honestly, I don't have these problems with Windows. I mean, Windows 10 does monitor scaling so well, like multiple monitors, different scaling, which in today's world is such a
yeah, I haven't seen a good X-Render.
Well, no, I had one, and then I rebooted, and I just couldn't work it, and then it didn't work, and then what happened? Yeah, I rebooted. I turned my computer on one day, and I couldn't have all of my monitors on at the same time. It just said Xrandr was just telling me that the screen size I was going for was too big, bigger than maximum. So did an internet search, DuckDuckGo'd it, and everyone was just saying, "Oh yeah, just put this in your Xorg config file." But who has Xorg config files these days?
Exactly.
You don't have an Xorg config.
You don't have that's wrong advice.
All right. So but you have like little files, don't you? So I made an Xorg little file, what I thought, and it didn't make any difference. And after banging my head up against a brick wall for about a week, I realised I wasn't doing it in the right sequence. I had like prefixed it with like 95 or something, and I needed to prefix it with 85 because it wasn't loading early enough in the bloody... I
feel your pain. I feel your pain.
And that came out of nowhere. It was working one day, and then it wasn't working. I don't even think I did an update. I don't know.
Ouch.
I mean, you can talk about Windows rebooting, but do you know what? I can afford that time, But how long does that take? 3 minutes? 30 seconds? 20 seconds? I mean, okay.
But if you do figure...
I'm going to go on a rant, actually. I want to rant about Dell post times. The amount of time it takes longer. It takes longer to get this past the post in BIOS than it does to boot it.
It's bloody UEFI. I noticed when you're in the legacy BIOS, it's faster.
No, it is not. It's Dell, because my previous laptop, my Asus, that was UEFI. The BIOS was literally 1 second. It was 1 second BIOS.
Okay, I'm googling Dell post time.
15 seconds. You'll probably find my rant on it. Actually, I don't think I'll publish that, actually.
Dell post times. Okay, that's the worst thing you could put.
Shipping. They don't know what's happened. They can't see what you're... You need to be able to put this on your camera, don't you?
Well, sometimes I do a screencast here.
Do a screencast.
I
just Googled Dell post time slow, and he just got shipping time.
Was this from Jamie here?
These things, though, it's just like people on forums saying, "Yeah, I've got this problem. Yeah, I've got this problem. Yeah, I've got this problem too."
No resolution.
I'm never buying a Dell product again. Nobody cares. After removing the hard disk drive,
God, there's so much crap here, isn't there?
And the charger, anyone ordered from...
Just format the laptop once, and the problem will be solved.
That's got to be a joke, isn't it? There's got to be someone taking... Oh, yeah. RMF sudo.
Okay, what else did you want to rant about? I seriously think if you went to Windows, you would have more problems.
When I got this computer, this XPS 15, I got it. It just in a lot of ways, it just felt inferior to my previous computer, which was a bit annoying. Because I previously had a 13-inch Asus, which was very light, very fast to boot, and it was fine. And then I bought this, and that one I didn't have the problem with the screen scaling, because it was very slightly high resolution, but not too much. It was an HD. It was 8 high definition on a 13-inch screen, so everything was fine. And then I got this, and it's heavy for me. It's 15-inch, so it's actually big. I mean, I thought I'd go for 15-inch because it's got the tiny bezels, and everyone goes on about how wonderful it is. I know, and it is. The other thing is, can you see this? Can you see this on the? Look how greasy it gets. It's got this soft touch thing, and it is so. It makes it look so greasy, and you cannot clean it. I mean, one day I'm probably going to sell it. There we go. Sell this second hand, and I'm going to have to put on the eBay description, it looks like it's been in a chip fryer. Look at that, it's gross. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, I mean, it is good. And the other thing is the blooming, I really hate touch screens. Like, people say, oh yeah, I can't work without a touch screen. It's like,
why did you buy a screen with a touch screen? And it's glossy, it's awful. It's awful. Glossy touchscreens should be banned.
Well, I wanted the high DPI, ironically enough. I was thinking.
Yeah, high DPI is such a pain on Linux, isn't it? Such a pain.
The least what are you reading?
It's nonsense.
Yeah. So that's my world.
I think running Arch has empowered me so much in my career, but I'm just deluded because no one else feels the same way as I do, except some stupid archers.
I found my question on Linux, Unix and Linux Stack Exchange.
Did you write to Lennart about the issue or raise an issue?
I did. I'll link it in the question actually.
Okay, let's stop recording. It's too boring. Listen, thank you for getting that far in the video. I know it was super long. I tried to cut it down and I failed. The TLDR version is that running Arch isn't a bed of roses, especially if you're a busy person, especially if you don't develop using Arch in your day-to-day workplace. And yeah, Xorg, I have scaling issues myself that I haven't been able to resolve. So I hope you enjoyed it, and if you know better, please let me know. Thank you for watching. Please like and subscribe. Bye now.